How's everyone doing? Today I'm going to attempt to teach and play a Adirondack, Upstate New York Adirondack folk song by Christopher Shaw called Mad Fiddler of the North Country. It's a good song to play with a banjo and a fiddle, and you'll see with the lyrics there's a lot of room for fiddle solos. So the first thing we're going to do is the basic frailing strum. Pick a string, any string, it doesn't matter. I'm just playing the chords of this. I find it difficult to sing a new song and play with a melody, so I'm just going to concentrate on the chord progression and singing it. Once you get the chord progression down, and that comes natural, then add the lyrics, and then when I get to that stage, then I start fooling around with the melody, but for right now, just chords. So the basic frailing strum, I like to use my middle finger, strike any string with the back of my middle finger, and then strum 2, 3, 4 strings down and come off with the thumb. So it's strike, strum, thumb, strike, strum, thumb. And right now I'm in open G. My banjo's tuned to open G. Once you get that down, the chord progression is very easy. Alright, the chords we're using is open G. Alright, we're going to use a C, which is your ring finger on the first string, 2nd fret, middle finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and index finger on your 2nd string, 1st fret. Alright, I like to come straight down with the tips of my fingers to get that C, to make sure I'm hitting each line, each string in a solid way. Alright? That's my C. G, C, G, C. Alright? Now we'll also be using a lot of A minor for this one. The A minor, same thing. If you could do a C, you could do an A minor. Ring finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, middle finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, pointer finger, index finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Now what I like to do on the C, I come straight down. I actually move my hand a little so I get a bit of an angle and flatten that middle finger out so that I'm hitting on the 2nd fret. I got the 4th string and the 3rd string pressed down with my middle finger. Make sure I always, sometimes I hit this, I flatten out so much that I hit the 2nd string. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that it's your first index finger at the 1st fret that's touching it, not your middle finger. And I get that by that angle. Alright, so if I come down flat like this, sometimes I'll hit it, but if I angle it, I catch it nice. Alright, so that's my A minor, C, A minor, C, A minor, C. Alright, so the chord, those are the chords, that's it, that's the only chords we're dealing with. And the chord progression goes like this. We start with A minor, and that's 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6, G. Alright, so that's the first 8 counts is A minor for 6 and then G for 2. A minor, G, and now it's C for 2, G for 2, A minor for 1, G for 1, and then back to A minor for 2. So that's 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 7 and a 8 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. play around with that until I get comfortable. My doorbell rang. I'll be back. Please don't tell me who is she. North country, where the devil and the cold winds wail, where the drink is strong and the nights are long, and I'll tell an Adirondack tale. It was on a cold and moonlit night, and Barrow tracked that bear, and his good hound howled, and the bear he growled, and their fighting filled the air. And the bear stood on his hind legs with one almighty blow. He knocked the hound down to the ground, and it died there in the snow. Then Bruin turned to Barrow, blood fever in his eyes, and the whole North Woods resounded with the fury of his cries. But Barrow held his ground there, and he jerked his 44, but the pistol would not fire, it was frozen to the core. As the bear advanced upon him, he fell backwards in the snow, but before the beast could reach him, it stopped dead in the moon's bright glow. Somewhere in the pine woods, a fiddle tune split the night, and the fiddle's wail made the bear turn tail and flee into the night. To his feet, and he peered into the night, as a man stepped from the shadows into the moon's bright light. But as the moon's light fell upon him, not a weapon did it show, just a man there in a mackinaw with a fiddle and a bow. Barrow called out to the man as to what his name might be. Nick Goodall, cried the stranger, mad fiddler of the North Country. Five winters they had come and gone since first the two men met. In a public house in Adirondack, Nick Goodall's luck was spent. For a half-crazed drunken logger with a temper and a 12-inch knife decided to skin the fiddler for entertainment there that night. The logger said, "Friends, gather around and watch this fiddler die," as Barrow shoved his 44 right between his eyes. It came to the logger's forehead, and the knife fell from his hands. As the fiddler walked out the door, they heard these words from Dan: "Now there ain't one man among you with the courage or the gall to go out and walk these wild north woods with just a fiddle and a mackinaw. Oh, come with me to the North Country, where the devil and the cold wind wail, where the night is long and the drink is strong, and I'll tell an Adirondack